Patriots fans, it is Muse the Draft Monday here on Locked On Patriots. Quite a few drafts that we'll go through today, including a couple of trades and a couple of intriguing late-round wide receivers that might just pique the Patriots' interest. And, of course, we're going to pick my good friend's brain on the DeVante Parker trade and the fallout it might have when it comes to the 2022 NFL Draft. I'm Mike Debate, and you are about to be locked in to the Locked On Patriots podcast.
You are Locked On Patriots, your daily New England Patriots podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
To all of you Foxborough faithful, and thank you once again for making Locked On Patriots a daily part of your New England Patriots coverage. Thank you for joining us today on Monday, April 4th. It is not only Mock Draft Monday, it is Muse the Draft Monday here on Locked On Patriots, but most importantly, it is hashtag Locked On Murph Monday. I am your host, Mike Debate. I cover your New England Patriots for Patriots Country of Sports Illustrated, powered by Fan Nation. I am also your host of Locked On Patriots, which is a proud part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Folks, because it's your team every day, that means your questions, comments, and feedback are always welcomed, very much encouraged. So share that feedback and send it to the internet by reaching out to me, following me, letting me know what's on your mind at MDABATENFL. And while you're out there showing some weak love to that Twitterverse, please be sure to follow the Locked On Patriots account as well at LO_Patriots. Folks, it is Monday. You know what Mondays here on Locked On Patriots mean. That means a visit from the only green wisdom in council that keeps us going all the week long. Columnist extraordinaire, sports analyst extraordinaire from E2Gsports.com, the only guest on this pod, past, present, or future, with his very own branded hashtag. He is the monster master of disaster, the green king of sting, the Count of Murphy Fisto himself, the esteemed Don of Locked On Patriots, my good friend Thomas Murphy. Murph, thank you so much for joining me today. Thank you for coming to me in friendship, most of all, Don Murph.
Oh, always my pleasure, bud. Always my pleasure. The only thing that gets me up out of bed on a Monday morning is coming in here with you.
I think we might have lost Murph's audio, folks. I'm not quite getting it on his end. Murph, are you able to hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. You can't hear me? What the hell?
Okay, folks, we might have lost Murph, but he's trying to get his audio back. Not a problem here on Locked On Patriots. We're definitely going to bring you the latest news, notes, and analysis from Foxborough, as we always do. And while my good friend is trying to sort out those problems, here on Locked On Patriots today, we are going to be discussing a number of different and there he is. See, right on cue. We love having the man back, and he is back in our good graces. Murph, are you there, buddy?
Can you hear me now?
We can hear you. You're coming in loud and clear, my friend. And it gave me the perfect opportunity to tell you that today's episode is brought to you by BetOnline, because BetOnline has you covered this season with more props, more odds, and more lines than ever before. BetOnline, where the game starts. But what can we say? It's always an honor, always a pleasure for you to join us here on the mic. And over the weekend, Murph, the Patriots made a little, I want to say waves, but they made their share of headlines. DeVante Parker coming over to the New England Patriots. The Patriots received Parker and a fifth-round draft choice in 2022, third-rounder in 2023 going back over to the Dolphins. I think a good, solid trade. We talked a little bit about the trade yesterday and what it means for the Patriots here on Locked On. My good friend Kevin Tame joined me from Sports Illustrated. We talked about Parker and what he brings to the table, but we need the green wisdom in council. We need your opinion on this, my friend. What were your thoughts when you saw what the Patriots received in return for the third rounder with Parker and the fifth coming back? What just your general thoughts on what this means for the Patriots going forward?
Yeah, I thought it was a fantastic deal. A win-win, if you will. Parker was wholeheartedly unhappy with the way things were progressing career-wise with him down there in Florida. And I don't blame him. I'd do anything I could to get out of the great state of Florida. I've always said, Florida is my least favorite foreign country in the United. And but no, it was a good deal. What it comes down to is a swap of picks and Parker. The Patriots, as Matt Chatham so eloquently said this morning,
Beautiful.
that it was not a trade. What they did was just flip third and fifth round picks, and they got DeVante Parker on top of it. Parker immediately vaults to, in my opinion, the top of this depth chart. And I can't wait to see what he's going to be able to do here in New England with a competent quarterback.
Yeah, without any question. I really like the fit here about not just acquiring someone that can be that vertical veteran outside presence that the Patriots need, but Parker is someone that has done well against New England in the past. And Kevin and I talked about this a little bit yesterday
Bill
here on
loves
Locked
that.
On. Bill loves to get guys that have torched him or had difficulty defending in the past. And I think Parker coming in here is a solid move for the Patriots. I don't think people are talking enough about that fifth round pick that the Patriots received along with Parker.
Yeah.
Look, bottom line, I'm not saying that this is going to be the game changer that everybody thinks it's going to be, but I thought Matt's tweet was brilliant this morning in saying that a lot of people are saying, oh, well, you got a third rounder for the, really directed at the national media who are driving a narrative that,
Right.
quite honestly, the majority of them know nothing about. The guys that cover this team here in New England understand the value of someone like a Malcolm Mitchell. If you're
Yep.
going to throw his name into a tweet and you
Thank
want
you.
attention
Thank
and you
you.
want, some sort of, I don't know, what shall we say, razor pointed analysis. I think
Yeah.
that's the best way for me to put it before I get too insulting for parties that deserve it. But in any case, folks, when you get to that level and you look at what Malcolm Mitchell could have been here in New
Oh,
England,
God.
don't throw him in as part of your
Right.
I hate Bill Belichick's ability to draft wideouts. Sorry, I went on a tangent there, buddy. But
go right ahead.
it's a
Go
Monday.
right
It's a
ahead.
Monday. We got to let I got some stuff in the basement, buddy. I got to let it out. But all kidding aside, I think in a lot of ways, what this trade did for the Patriots is not only give them a player with an opportunity to really change the complexity of the way this team operates on offense.
Yep.
But Murph, that fifth round draft choice could end up being a pretty good one for the New England Patriots. This is a very deep draft at areas where the Patriots need help, whether it be offensive guard, whether it be linebacker, whether it be, edge rush help. I mean, these are all areas, cornerback. I mean, these are all areas where players are drafted into the middle part of those rounds, maybe
Yep.
even into the fifth round, that could have an impact on the roster this year. So I think the Patriots made a good one. They obviously forfeit the third rounder in 2023, but I think Bill is striking while the iron is hot, and he sees a lot of potential in this draft, and he keeps quietly stockpiling these fifth rounders and late round picks. It's going to be interesting to see what the Patriots are going to do here.
It is. It really is. And I'm sorry, folks, but Clemenza likes to leave the gun loud just to scare any pain in the ass innocent bystanders away. No, well, good shot there, Michael. I love it. Yeah, people just don't get it. Malcolm, he could have been something, extraordinary here, and he showed it in just his rookie year. What Bill's going to be able to do with this fifth round pick is create depth at an area where the Patriots wouldn't be able to normally do so. He can do this with this extra pick this year. It was a fantastic deal. And yeah, people who don't know what they're talking about should just keep their mouths shut.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and that's it. I mean, I understand everybody has a job to do in this business, but when all your job is to chase clout and chase attention, at least if you're going to do it,
do it right.
Omit someone. Yeah, exactly. Don't throw names in there just for the sake of it. Maybe because you haven't heard of them or you haven't done your research doesn't mean that no one else in this area knows what you're talking about. You're going to get called out on it, and he's being called out on it by some very good friends of ours and some very knowledgeable people.
Mitchell could have and should have probably been the third wide receiver MVP of a Super Bowl that Bill Belichick had drafted.
Yeah, absolutely.
End of story.
Thank you very much. Thank you. And I think that's a perfect opportunity for us to take our leave of that subject because,
There you
folks,
go.
it is Locked on Murph Monday. It is Musing the Draft Monday. And boy, do we have 4 entertaining drafts to go
Right.
through. Trades galore, interesting picks, the upheaval of the Parker trade, kind of changing the direction of what a lot of people like to do. We're looking forward to bringing you all of that in just a moment. But first, folks, today's episode is brought to you by the great folks over at Athletic Greens. They put out a fantastic product. I literally take it every day. And let's face it, folks, we all want more energy. The days are getting longer. We want to maximize our health, and we really want to enjoy the upcoming spring and summer months. I started taking their AG1 for that reason. And folks, I love it. One delicious scoop of Athletic Greens, and I'm already enjoying better gut health, more energy, greater focus, and folks, you will too. Everyone wants to take a multivitamin to maximize their health, but folks, it's important to choose the one with high quality ingredients that your body will actually absorb. Well, AG1 is a small micro habit with big benefits. It's the one thing that you can do every single day to take good care of yourself. Right now, it's time to reclaim your health and your immune system with convenient daily nutrition. It's just 1 scoop in a cup of water every day. That's it. There's no need for a million different pills and supplements to look out for your health. And to make it easy, Athletic Greens is going to give you a free 1-year supply of immune supporting vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. All you have to do is visit athleticgreens.com/NFL network. Again, that is athleticgreens.com/NFL network to take ownership over your health and pick up the ultimate daily nutrition assistance. Patriots fans, it's always a blast when my good friend, the Count of Murphy Fisto himself, joins me here on the mic. We're ready to talk draft. We're ready to talk all of the different aspects that comes along with the draft. And I know you're looking to maximize your earnings when it comes to the draft as well. That's right. Yeah, there's always a little bit to be laid down to try to help maximize your wallet. It is that time of year. And just a reminder, for all the latest odds, contests, and player props, BetOnline.net is the #1 source for all of your sports betting needs and information because BetOnline remains the best spot for all of your sports scores, podcasts, and news this season. And it's not just the major sports, folks. BetOnline is your continued source for all of your sport wagering information needs, including live betting and your favorite Vegas casino games. Head to the website today or use your mobile device to learn more about the trends and the action. BetOnline, where the game starts. And speaking of starting, Murph, I think it's a good opportunity now for us to move into musing the draft. As you can see, Murph and I both have our thinking caps here on. Murph looking dapper as usual. Me, well, I'm trying the best I can to look alive. And it's an uphill battle for me every day. I got to be honest with you there. But honestly, Bud, we've got 4 drafts that are definitely going to bring, I think, our listeners to their feet. We start with a fan favorite from last week. We got a lot of good feedback from our good friend, the high school legend himself. High School Ledge 4 on Twitter. Definitely, you want to check him out. He's a great follow and also just a great guy as well. That's High School Ledge, LEGE4 on Twitter. And this was an interesting draft, to say the least.
Yeah.
He started off with a trade, gave up a haul, and I mean a haul, with the Houston Texans of all teams, sending not just the number 21 pick overall, Murph. He sent a 170th pick in the 5th round. He sent number 210 in the 6th round. Those go over. He also sends future picks, doing a little Doc Brown, Belichickian time gazing there. 4th rounder in 2023 and a 3rd rounder in 2024 to the Houston Texans for the number 13 pick in this year's NFL draft. With that pick, Andrew Carraway is going to be happy with this one. He chooses Jordan Davis, stud defender, no question about it, out of the University of Georgia. Murph, what are your thoughts on the haul? I love Davis. I really would love to see him paired along with Christian Barmore, but I love you, high school legend. I love you to death. This seems a little excessive to me.
Yeah, it did. The price for this pick was certainly high, but I love the ball player.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I absolutely love the ball player.
Let's not lose sight of his immediate impact. All right, putting him on the line with Barmore completely changes the game up front, man. This is a man that decides where the line of scrimmage is. This is a man that runs down quarterbacks with ease without blowing his breakfast, for Christ's sakes. So, yeah, no, I love the pick. I don't love when he had to give up to get it,
Yeah.
and that's where you see the little D there next to, we'll tweet it out later, next to the trade. But no, fantastic. There's no way that a talent this good is going to fall to the Patriots. This impactful is going to make it to 21. So I understand where he's coming from, and bottom line is, with any trade in any sport, is who gets the best player right then and there. And who knows what prospects are going to be like? Who knows what that draft is going to be like down the road? So thumbs up. 2 huge green thumbs up.
Yeah, I think in a lot of ways, I love the player, and no question
Yeah.
about it. And I know we're having some fun at the Legends expense. You know, we love you, my friend, and we want you to keep sending these, definitely to us, and we humbly appreciate your support. Yeah, it's a haul to get someone like that, but you're going to have to give up a haul if you want to get someone with the potential and the talent, the immediate NFL level ready talent that Jordan Davis brings to the table. So I applaud the aggression here, and I think the high school legend really redeemed himself a little bit by kind of getting a haul in return from the Denver Broncos, sending a lot of late round picks and a couple of future picks. According to what the high school legend did next, he sent the 3rd rounder, number 75, the 3rd rounder at number 96, and 2 4th rounders in 2023 and another one in 2024 over to the those come back over to the New England Patriots only for the round 2 selection for the number 54 pick. So the Patriots essentially give up the 2nd rounder now, but now they've got 4 pieces of draft capital in return. And with that 75th pick, chooses on the edge Josh Pascal from Kentucky. This is a great pick, and I thought really you want to talk about giving the Patriots a little bit more pop on the edge, something they haven't. I don't want to say they haven't had, because they have, but something that they've needed help with, or additional bodies at that position. I think Pascal can definitely come in and give them a lot of versatility on that edge.
Yeah, we're talking about guys that can set the edge right here, people. This was a fantastic pick. I really can't believe that he was there. I have him in my top 5 at the position. I really, it's other people have him lower. Don't listen to other people. Stop listening to other people. They this kid's fantastic. He can play anywhere up and down the line. The legend got legendary with this pick.
Yeah,
truly
absolutely.
Legendary.
Yeah, without any question, definitely. And this one, like I said, this really, I think, vaulted this draft back into not just reality, but I think it vaulted it into a really astute and very pointed pick here. So I liked this one a lot. He's putting some of that recouped 3rd round draft capital back into the Patriots' pocket, going with a couple of offensive linemen here, really shoring up. A couple of guys with starting potential, maybe, but definite depth pieces if they can pull this off. Cole Strange coming over from Chattanooga at the guard position. A lot of versatility there. He's interior. He can slot in at center a little bit. Kevin and I talked about him a little bit yesterday here on the pod, and I like Strange. The more I look at him and the more I look at what he brings to the table. Kellen Dyche, a guy that we've talked about from Arizona State, coming over, giving the Patriots some tackle depth. Murph, you're an expert on the offensive line. What are your thoughts here on this one?
Yeah, go ahead and pick on the short round guy here, but no, I love Cole Strange. I really like his game. He's a little undersized, but I do like the way that he can move around the interior of the line. He can play either guard spot. He can slip in there and play some center for you. And I really can't cut this up at all. He get him in here, get him on a diet program, get his weight up a little bit, because he can handle more size. He's 6'5", and the problem is he's only 307 pounds. Can you believe that? People were saying only 307 pounds, but you're going to find few and far between interior guys in this draft that get to the 2nd level as well as he does, and then do something when they get there. A lot of guys get there, they don't do anything when they get there. Cole Strange does.
Yeah, absolutely.
Dr. Strange.
Definitely. And the Patriots are going to need help along the offensive line, both at the guard position and as well as the tackle position. They need depth at that level. Bill Belichick lacked it a couple of years ago, and I don't think, and you've said this several times, Murph, I don't think he ever wants to be in that point
No.
again. So the more bodies you can stockpile and the more NFL capable talent you can stockpile there, sign me up for it and sign Bill Belichick up for it as well. Another trade for the high school legend here, recouping a little bit of that haul that he gave up in the early rounds. The Patriots getting a fourth rounder in this draft, 137, a seventh rounder, which currently they do not have, folks, and also getting a sixth rounder in 2024. Their initial fourth rounder at number 127 goes to the Carolina Panthers. And a couple of interesting picks here, I think, to close it out in round 4 and in round 5. Cordell Flott comes over from LSU, cornerback, ranked at 109th in the country in terms of his his ranking at not just at the position but overall. When you get that type of talent down at 137, definitely I thought a good option, someone that can come in and be a good solid depth piece at corner, and a guy that Kaiir Thompson, my guest here on Friday, turned me on to a little bit over the weekend, and I've been watching a little bit more film on him. It's Kevin Austin Jr. from Notre Dame at the wide receiver position. Kid that has really, I think, a versatile skill set, and I think he could be an interesting fit here in New England, and he might be able to be had in these later rounds. Overall, Murph, when you look at from top to bottom with the high school legend, the trades and the aggression, what are your thoughts on his draft here?
I thought it was a fantastic draft. I find it hard to believe that this draft only got a B. I'm going to give it a solid B plus because, like I said, I really don't care what he gave up. I just care what he brought back, and he brought back a pile of talent here.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, no question about it. And I give it a solid B plus here with what he did. I really like the aggression. Again, if we're going on just the first pick, it's a little, like I said, and we've said that it's a little bit of a haul to get Jordan Davis. But I mean, if you can walk away with him and this type of a haul coming up behind him, huge, absolutely.
I see 4 hits.
Yeah.
Four
Absolutely.
gapper hits, two in the top 4 rounds, and you can't cut that up. Well done, boss.
Yeah, absolutely. Generational talent in that regard. So you might be walking away from that trade saying a little bit pie in the sky. The next draft that we're going to break down here, maybe a lot pie in the sky, but boy, I'll tell you, is this one fun? And was this one interesting, folks? John Costi, a first-time submitter here on Locked On Patriots for the mock draft Monday, Muse the draft Monday here on Locked On. Definitely love this kid's aggression.
Oh my God!
Absolutely, I absolutely love that. And whether you are either a first-timer or any type of submitter, I'm so glad that John submitted this draft.
Thank you,
folks. It really is interesting.
I enjoyed this.
Starts off with a trade, and boy, what a trade! Trading with the Philadelphia Eagles of all teams, and he has the Eagles receiving the Patriots' 4th rounder in number 127, their 1st rounder next year in 2023, a 2nd rounder in 2023, and then a 1st rounder in 2024, and a 2nd rounder in 2024. Yeah, I know. Everybody out there right now is groaning and saying, "What are you doing? And why is this? Is this the Herschel Walker trade again? You're trading away all my." This is like Kevin Costner in draft day. I want the 1st rounders. I want them all back. I can picture Bill Belichick. Yeah, exactly. I want to, and I want a punter too, just because I need one.
All the ham, and unbelievable.
Absolutely. But the Patriots do get some hauls in return, folks, so don't worry about it. They got 2 first rounders in this draft and then a 3rd rounder at number 83. And Murph, boy, I'll tell you, if he can pull this off, I mean, really, I think we may end up quitting our jobs and working for John someday. Really, and I mean that just because, I mean, you want to talk about brilliant. You want to talk about the 2 players I'm coveting the most in this draft. Jameson Williams, the wide receiver position, Alabama, comes over at number 16. At number 19, your draft crush and mine, Nakobe Dean, comes over from the University of Georgia. Patriots, 2 of their biggest holes on the roster right now, filling them with big-time players. How do you not give an A for effort? How do you not give an A for ingenuity?
Right.
And really, I think an A++ for just sheer guts.
Holy shit, Bill! Excuse me. Call this man now and see if you can get him into the war room. This is brilliance. This is nothing short of brilliance. Jameson Williams at the top, man. That's oh god, oh my god. It makes the trade over the weekend
Mhm.
makes this pick so much easier. You can sit back and wait on Williams and to
Yeah.
heal up. Dean at 19, everybody knows how Mike and I feel about Dean.
Mhm.
He is the game changer on the defensive side of the ball that the Patriots need right now. I don't care about his size, folks. I don't care. And then Andrew Booth is
Absolutely.
oh my God, this is the haul and a half. Now, not to mention Medici down there at 8. Oh my, I keep looking at this mock and I have to pick my jaw up.
Folks, he has John Mechie coming over to the Patriots in the third round at number 83.
Mhm.
John, I want to know who you're drafting with, bud. I
Right.
really and truly do. I want to know these people. He also has a trade mixed in there, believe it or not. The first rounder, Andrew Booth coming over in a first rounder, he acquired that trade by trading the number 21 pick, the original first rounder that the Patriots had, including their fifth rounder, the number 170 pick. That's the Jack Mason trade. That goes over to the Dallas Cowboys. The Cowboys send back number 24 and the third rounder, number 88.
Right.
And that's where he's selected Andrew Booth at in the first round, second rounder at number 54. Nick Bonito coming over from Oklahoma. We've talked about Bonito before here on Locked On Patriots. The third rounder at number 85, Cole Strange coming over at the guard position. Absolutely.
And then Zach Tom. I don't know why Zach Tom got an F here.
I don't know that either. I'm
that.
really surprised. I like the versatility that this kid can bring. He's not going to start year one, folks, but this is a kid that can play tackle. He can play center. He's done a number of different things for the Demon Deacons that I think make him a solid pick. I mean, if you're looking at him, if you draft him in the first 2 rounds, maybe I can understand a little bit of vitriol, but number 88, I don't know, maybe people think it's a little bit too high. I mean, he's ranked at number 92 on the big board. You took him in number 88. It's not a stretch. It's not a stretch.
It's really not, man. I would give that a solid
algorithms,
B.
man. Algorithms.
Bloody algorithms. He's consistent. He's fluid. He moves well. He has fast feet, and I love his hand placement, man. This kid's got a nice punch to him.
He does.
Bravo. Do not listen to the algorithms, folks. And one thing you have to know is everything being traded. You have to remember the Patriots have a ton of cap space next year. Opening up, we're going to see them go back into the free agency market, not as deeply as they did last year, but definitely a lot more than they did this year. I'm not sure off the top of my head what the class looks like right now. Everybody can get extensions, but the draft picks in next year's draft don't mean as much to me as they do in this year's draft. And this man right here got the Patriots immediate help everywhere. I think every hole was plugged with this man's draft, man. Bravo, A+, A+, A+.
Absolutely. I mean, if you could ever pull this off, this would be the ultimate draft haul for the New England Patriots. We're going to tweet this out. And we're going to put this one in the Hall of Fame, John. Really, really great, great stuff. And again, folks, we take a lot of liberties here. Realistic, don't worry about realistic. That's what we're here for on Locked On, Murph Monday, on Mock Draft Monday, musing the draft. This is a muse. This is a happy muse that we're using heading into this. And we're not even done, folks, because we still have 2 dynamic drafts coming from the Godfather, not this Godfather, not the true Don of the family, but one of our Godfathers here, one of our Pezzanavante here on Locked On Patriots, as well as another submitter giving his second go around, Brady Lang. Stay tuned, folks. Stick with us, because we'll be right back in terms of bringing you those draft content. But first, it's Team Butchie's favorite time of the show, because, folks, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about my favorite sweet treat that's not just good for you, but it also tastes delicious, and that is the great folks over at Built Bar, who put out a phenomenal product. Folks, what more can you say about Built Bar that hasn't already been said? Well, I'll continue to do that, because they are just that good. Every time you reach for a sweet treat, and right now, especially at this time of year, You want something that's going to be able to coincide with your waistline, but also give you all the protein and all the flavor that you crave in a sweet treat. Built Bar does it, and they do it better than anyone. Amazing flavors such as cookies and cream, raspberry, orange, salted caramel, peanut butter brownie, my personal favorite, toasted coconut, coconut almond, mint brownie, all of them rolled into one, folks. Anything that you choose from Built Bar is always going to be top-notch quality, because at Built Bar, they focus on the flavor first, and then they find a way to make it healthy for you. So much better than reaching for a candy bar. You get so much more protein, minimal calories, and all of the taste. I don't know how they do it. Murph doesn't know how they do it. Team Butchie doesn't know how they do it. No one does, except for the great people over at Built Bar. But trust me, folks, they do it, and they do it better than anybody. So don't delay. Do it today. Log on to built.com and enter the promo code LOCK15 to get 15% off your next order. Folks, again, I can't say enough about how Built Bar is just a phenomenal product. Once you try it, you will be hooked. You'll love it. I guarantee it. So visit built.com today. Enter the promo code LOCK15 for 15% off your next order at built.com. Patriots fans, we are almost through with our musing of the draft here on Monday to kick off your week in style here on Locked On Patriots. Again, Murph and I thank you for joining us today and for making Locked On Patriots your first listen every day. Murph, it is time for a visit from our fantasy godfather. Bob on the Border comes here at Fantasy Godfather, F-A-T-H. Doesn't quite finish it because of the character restraints from Twitter. No other reason. But the Godfather once again delivers. So we come to you in friendship. We come to you asking respectfully, Don Bob, for your mock draft. And you have once again delivered, I think, a very, very solid mock draft here. The Patriots, once again, a lot of trades this week, Murph.
Yeah.
Our submitters are getting very trade happy.
Serious.
I like it.
Yeah.
I got to say it. I like it. And he's trading with the New York Football Giants. And I know my good friend Patricia Traina, who I not only work with here at Locked On, as she is the host of Locked On Giants, but Patty is also a Giants beat writer extraordinaire for Giants Country of Sports Illustrated, and just one of my favorite people in the world. Just a true, great analyst. So, Patty, if you're listening or if you're paying attention to this one, definitely you want your ears up on this, because the Patriots are giving the first rounder in this NFL draft, in this coming NFL draft, 2022, along with the fourth rounder, number 127. Those go over to the Giants, and the Patriots get 3 picks in return. So Belichick turns 2 into 3. And he comes away with round 2 selection here in 2022 at number 38, the 67th selection in round 3, and then another selection in the 3rd round at number 81. So not bad. A first and a fourth, and you get a second rounder and 2 third rounders. And I got to say, I like what he did with these picks. Jalen Petre coming over as a cornerback from Baylor. Now, he's not a name that you're hearing a lot of with the Patriots, Murph, and there are reasons for that, and I'm not going to steal your thunder here. We're hearing the McCrary's, we're hearing the Kaiir Elams, we're hearing the Booths and all these guys, and, wanting that alpha corner, but Petre does bring some stuff to the table that could make this an interesting pick. If this is your first selection for the Patriots in 2022, how did the Godfather do here?
He did not do a poor job here. Okay, let's put it that way. This is a man that can, if Bill is going with his chess piece freaking defensive backfield and he's a fantastic spot. This is a fantastic spot to grab him. I believe that, this kid, he can play linebacker, he can play safety. He's phenomenal coming off the edge to get after the quarterback. The problem is his size. He's too small to play linebacker, and his coverage skills are a bit iffy. And I don't want to say iffy, but I'm not sure if you could keep him in the slot constantly. Bill would have to take his time with him. It would be one of those picks where we're all talking 5 years from now or 3 years from now that, nobody is better at putting somebody in a position to succeed than Bill Belichick is. I'm not sure that I would have gone this way, but a fantastic trade. He's a good player. Like I said, he's somebody that can play all over the defensive side of the ball. And so, I give it a solid, it's not often that I go lower than what the algorithms are showing, but a C plus pick right there at this. I would have liked more impact right here.
Yeah, I think in a lot of ways I understand where you're coming from. If you're going to go that high in corner, and
Yeah.
let's face it, the Parker trade really, I think, reset a lot of people's expectations. You're seeing a lot few in the submissions that we got, some of the later submissions that didn't quite make the cut this week. And you know what, Murph and I may do outtakes someday and
Yeah.
just go over, all of the draft submissions that ended up on the cutting room floor, because we really did have some great ones.
Yeah.
A lot less choosing wide receivers in the first round. You're seeing linebackers, you're seeing
Yep.
corners, mostly corners. And I think that's something that this is a deep draft for that. You're looking for maybe that alpha player that can come in, give you that type of impact. I'm not sure that Jalen provides that at this point, but at the
Yeah.
same time, there is upside. And look, this is the type of pick that is very Belichickian, Godfather. I do
Yeah.
want to give you credit for that, because it's the type of pick that you look and you go, what? There's other guys. Why him?
Yeah.
But at the same time, then you look at some of the fits and you can understand why. We went through this a couple of years ago with, sorry, folks, you might want to mute your because I'm going to mention N'Keal Harry's name, kind of very similar to what, we went through a couple of years ago with Harry, where a lot of
Yeah.
people were expecting a first round wideout. They were expecting another name. And when Harry's name was called, everybody was kind of, well, whatever. Whether it worked out or not, I leave you to your, own volition to determine that. But that could be like one of those areas where if Jalen is the pick and the top corner that the Patriots did choose, I think it's going to be met with very similar reaction to that. But applaud for the ingenuity. I definitely, like it. In the third round, number 67, Darion Beavers coming over from Cincinnati.
Love this pick.
We hear Beavers an awful lot.
Yeah.
The thing that's interesting to me is that I know Beavers keep showing up in mock drafts. Dont'a Hightower remains unsigned, Murph,
Right.
and I'm not sure if that necessarily is something good for the New England Patriots, if that means they can still get him back here in New England on a much discounted deal, or if that simply means that Hightower is probably going to end up playing his ball elsewhere. I think any of those could happen, but Beavers, to me, if they select him in the draft, and for some reason at the end of the month, Dante is still looking for work, to me, that's a clear sign that they've completely moved on from him, because I think this kid moves directly into that role. Maybe not year one, but he's definitely going to move into that role. And you can see him kind of being mentored maybe by a guy like Juwan Bentley.
Yeah, I agree, man. I love Beavers. He's just a bruiser. He comes out there and just hits you in the mouth like few other in this draft do.
Mm-hmm.
There's a knock that he's a little slow, needs work in backing out and into coverage, but that's not really the reason that you're bringing him in here. You're bringing him in here to help stuff the run, get after the quarterback. It's a good pick.
Absolutely. Yeah, I like that. And I think there's, some strong, sentiments to be had there. Murph, I'm going to skip down a little bit because we are going to put this draft out there for your viewing pleasure, folks. And I'm going to talk a little bit about a guy that you tweeted about this weekend. So I want to give you an opportunity to kind of voice your opinion on someone that might get a little bit oversaturated coverage. And that is, we're going to talk wide receivers, folks. We're going to talk Rutgers guys, too, because Bill Belichick loves them. Beau Melton coming over, sixth round draft choice at number 200. What is it about Beau Melton? Is it because of the speed that he brings? Is it because of the skill set? Or is this because we know that Bill is still clamoring to try to get a Rutgers guy in here?
Yeah, that's basically it. There's got to be some outstanding books that weren't returned to Rutgers, the library or something. And Beau is getting a lot of press. He really is, especially here in New England. What is he? Is he a slot guy? He doesn't have enough, speed off the line to really separate underneath. He does really well when he's going up against zone, but he doesn't have it when you're facing man. But he does have that yak. He does have that yak. I'll give him that. I'm just exhausted with Rutgers. I've actually given people a lot of props for leaving Rutgers off of drafts, for leaving Beau Melton off of drafts, because I just keep seeing everybody come back to him and come back to him and come back to him. So maybe that has prejudiced me just a tiny bit, but there are other places that I would go. Sorry, boss. Sorry.
No, I think, in a lot of ways, I think, the Don has made sense with the Godfather here, and we definitely love that. So overall, if you're rating the Godfather right now, and be careful, he doesn't do too well with disrespect.
No.
It's very, very difficult. You don't
No.
answer with respect. You don't offer friendship.
And Melton will contribute on special teams. So it's how do you really rip a pick at 200?
Yeah, it's true.
You can't do it. It's 200.
It really is.
So go ahead.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
if you're digging the the hole at that point, that late in the draft to kind of push your narrative.
I'm sorry, Godfather. I feel terrible for really looking where you got him. I mean, why not?
Exactly. So I think a solid B with a B+ rising here for the Godfather.
Yeah.
What say you, Don Murph?
Yeah, no. I'm right there with you. A B, possibly a B+ in seeing how some of these guys in the middle. I don't, it really ballsy taking Carson Strong there at 81.
Yeah.
That's you need another quarterback. You're going to need another quarterback. So I mean, Carson won't appreciate it because he knows he's not going to come in here and play. But other than that,
very true.
Yeah, go ahead, man. It's solid B, possibly a B+ draft.
Yeah,
folks, don't take our nitpicking to what we've gotten so many amazing drafts that this is where we're at. We're sitting there nitpicking the 200th pick.
Right.
In the draft. All right. You take us back to Tom Brady's pick, and we'd probably say, what the hell is he doing? What's he doing?
Absolutely. It's true. Absolutely. You're 100% right. And you know what? You never know until these guys hit the field and until they really cultivate some of their skill to know what you truly have. So our final draft submission here today is one that I chose not necessarily because it's going to be a fan favorite, not necessarily because it's even what the submitter is going to do himself. Kind of Belichickian in its execution is a good way to put it. And Brady Lang has submitted a couple of drafts here before, and this one intrigued me a lot. So Brady, I definitely thank you for submitting this one. And one of the reasons why Murph and I chose this was because of the fact that it is a little different than what we're seeing on some of the boards out there. And Patriots staying in the first round, but he's shipping off the number 21 pick to the Dallas Cowboys, coming back round 1, number 24, and a 4th rounder at number 129. The Patriots still get a first-round cornerback, and this one I think makes a little bit more sense in terms of the guy that they might want to bring in long-term. Kevin Tame is going to be really happy about this. He's been beating this guy's drum pretty much all draft season, and that's Kaiir Elam out of Florida. Again, Murph, I mean, we've talked about Kaiir a lot here. We've talked about his fit. I don't necessarily think, and I said this yesterday, I don't think that bringing in Malcolm Butler is essentially the abandonment that a lot of people are saying that it's going to be about man coverage, that, they're going to bring in, Butler and they're just going to play zone. I don't necessarily know that's the case. I think they may find zone as a comfort zone.
Right.
No pun intended there, folks. But when they're talking about defending some of these speedy wide receivers that they're going to have to be facing, especially in their own division, guys like Stephon Diggs, Tyreek Hill, there's a lot of guys that we're going to have to defend. The Patriots are going to need that zone coverage, and I think Malcolm provides that. And I think he's still a very good, cover corner when it comes to zone, but they still need that alpha on man, and I think Elam fits that bill perfectly.
I excuse me. I agree wholeheartedly. This is a guy that he's long and physical. He's got a motor that doesn't quit. He has the awareness to play outside or even safety. You could even put him as a free safety. He's a former wide receiver, which I always love, which Bill always loved, and he's the nephew of Matt Elam.
Absolutely. Yeah.
You know,
And you gotta
there you
love it.
go.
And it's,
Yeah,
and to me, when you look at guys that can come in and make an immediate impact, I think Elam is that type of player, not
if
just from the skill that he brings. No, I'm sorry. No, go ahead.
if
I
he
want to hear.
stays healthy, man, this kid
Thank
has a
you.
lot of
Very
difficulty
good point.
staying on the field.
Hmm.
That would be my only hedge back. If he didn't
Yeah.
have these issues, if he did not have these issues, he would be taken a lot higher in this draft
Yeah.
than he's going here. It's a bit of a gamble, and
Hmm.
when you get, I am not one to gamble on health
Hmm.
unless you are a generational type player
Right.
that falls to somebody.
Good point.
But health is really the trump card here, for lack of a better term, as to
Yeah.
whether or not I love this pick. I really like it.
Absolutely. I do as well. And in the second round, that pick that the Patriots did have that they do hold on to, Drake Jackson coming over from
Yeah,
USC. We don't see a whole lot of the name.
no,
Brady loves the Drake. Seinfeld fans will get that reference, but he did love the Drake. What are your thoughts? Because it looked like, the algorithms loved the Drake too. They gave this one a pretty high grade. What are your thoughts on his
yeah.
potential fit in Foxborough?
I like it. I like it a lot. I think he comes in here and he's able to contribute right away. He
Yeah.
brings something to the table that Bill is going to be able to use from the get go. This is not going to be one of those red shirt years.
Yeah, absolutely, without any question.
Nope.
Good stuff from Brady down the line. He was, I think, maybe a little bit, harshly criticized for some of the late
Yeah.
round picks. I like Jack Sanborn coming in at the
Yeah.
linebacker position from
Thank you.
Wisconsin. I thought that was a solid choice. I think right around the area where he might go. All right, maybe 129 is a little bit
Well,
early, but Bill Belichick does not worry about the boards, folks. He's going to take the talent that he likes, and I think this kid could fit well in New England at the linebacker position.
I agree, man. I really like Sanborn. He's physical. He's a downhill guy. He plays a lot stronger than he
Mhm.
looks.
Right.
Again, another guy that's gonna that is not coming in here as a pure backer that you're going to want to drop back into coverage. But with what Bill's putting together on the back end, you might not need that. Man, he's a sub package linebacker. But
Yeah.
again, where you're grabbing him,
Mhm.
you can't cut this up.
Right.
You really can't. I don't understand the C grade on this. I think it's a solid B.
Yeah, absolutely. I liked Sanborn, and I liked the pick there as well. And again, I think Brady did a good job of identifying players that would fit well into New England's system. This is a draft I could see New England coming away with. And again, it's not going to be the popular pick amongst the fans, but just players that can fit this system well.
Right.
I think he did a good job with it. One thing I did want to mention is a very rare situation where you trade a pick away for a player. And
Yeah.
he actually did that. And I mentioned Patricia Traina earlier. Patty, if you're listening again, you're really going to raise your eyebrow. I would love to hear Patty's thoughts on this. The Patriots sending the number 170 pick that they received for Shaq Mason over to the New York Football Giants in return for wide receiver Darius Slayton. This was interesting, Murph.
Yeah, that was definitely something out of left field, something that hit me from the blind side. I wouldn't be opposed to it. It's there's you could do worse at that pick than bringing in a guy like Slayton.
Yeah, absolutely. And look, Patriots and the Giants had joint practices last summer. I got an opportunity to see these two teams go head on head in terms of what they're able to do. Joe Judge has a pipeline. He's got a vision of what that team could be and the guys that he may look at as potential fits here. It wouldn't surprise me to see them go deeper into the well. We've already seen Jabril Peppers come over from the Giants now. Wouldn't surprise me to see them try to dip into that well at least once, maybe through trade. And there's a good relationship between these two organizations. So who knows? Maybe this one had a chance.
Yep, another guy that would like to see what he would do with a more competent quarterback.
Absolutely. And having him catch passes from Mac Jones could be really interesting for the New England Patriots moving forward. Overall grade on Brady's before we wrap things up today, bud?
Oh, it's a solid B. It is. It's a solid B draft. The only thing that dragged it down was my concern over his first round pick. But other than that, and it's a solid B draft. Well done.
Yeah, I'm going with a B, solid B plus rising, I think, in the case
Okay.
with this one, simply because I really love Elam's fit here. I definitely see your concerns with the health, no question about it. That's valid. But the potential payoff might end up being worth it
Just
if the
it's
Patriots
not
can swing it.
1 year. It's not like
That's
he
a good
was
point.
injured his junior year and then came back
Yeah,
and balled out senior year. It's
yeah,
been 2 years that
yeah.
he's been dealing with a lot of injuries,
And that is a
and
good point.
it gives me pause. It just takes me back
Absolutely.
to skipping on Stefan Tuitt for Triscuit
Mm.
knees.
And on that note, folks, we bid you farewell. Not kidding. All kidding aside, it is now time to close up the Muse the Draft book for this Monday episode of the Locked On Patriots podcast. But all kidding aside, we really have enjoyed looking at all of the mock drafts. We got some great submissions today. We hope you've enjoyed them as much as we've enjoyed giving you our thoughts on them. And all of these drafts will be available on the Locked On Patriots Twitter site. So definitely go and check out to find out what all of our great submissions had to offer from their wisdom and counsel bank themselves. And we thank all of our great submitters. Most of all, I thank this great man, my benefactor in this business, and one of my truly great friends and one of the truly great people you'll ever meet in life. Folks, he is a columnist, sports analyst extraordinaire for E2GSports.com. His Patriots content is second to none. That's why he has earned this chair each and every Monday here on the Locked On Patriots podcast. But it's not just football, folks. The Red Sox coverage that he puts out, the MLB coverage in general, is also second to none. I've always said, and I'll continue to say it, it doesn't happen in the end in Major League Baseball until I hear it from Murph. And that's, I believe, how you will feel as well. Before I let you go today, my good man, please let everyone know where they can find you, where they can interact with your great work, and what you have coming up from the great pen and the great voice of Thomas Murphy.
Oh, thank you, bud. Always too kind, too kind. Yeah, I've got a piece out this morning over at E2G.com about High and Bloom gambling with your future, Red Sox fans. Yeah, of course, I've got, every Tuesday is Steve Balistreri and Claire Cooper and myself on One Patriots Place. Tomorrow we'll have Phil A. Perry in studio. That's always a blast having Phil in there. We're going to be talking draft and free agency. And yeah, you stop on over and read all the great folks at E2GSports.com.
Absolutely, folks. And all of the great columnists and all the great work that E2GSports.com puts out. Point, click, learn, enrichment material. But I am extremely biased to my good friend, my Monday co-host here on Locked On Patriots. Again, my benefactor in this business, Don Murph. I am always honored, always humbled by your presence. And thank you for joining me here on Locked On Patriots today. We look forward to talking ball with you again here next week, Murph. But in the meantime, I thank all of you for continuing to make Locked On Patriots a daily part of your New England Patriots coverage. Until tomorrow, Foxborough faithful, stay safe, stay well, be the change that you wish to see in the world. Have a great day, everyone.